My name is Eugene Wright.
And I'm Doug Taylor.
And this is More Spiritual Than Lyrical, The Conversation.
I love it.
Let's move into the space of the spotlight, right? So with the spotlight, I feel like we both, like we mentioned earlier, in our respective worlds, we're both men on stage with mics, leading people in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Sure.
If I was to compare what you do to what I do, you have a concert every Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you got your live stream online with everybody every Wednesday. I'm there, for both. So it's like, for me, I only step on stage when I got something new to do, or if I'm called to do something, or if the show has purpose. But I understand that good or bad, people live with, secular music, as we explained, probably more frequently than they live with church stuff.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
So I know, like, for those people that do listen to me, every day, because I'm trying to make daily music you can live with, I may be more relevant in some lives for the world of the people that look at me on stage.
Sure.
And there's, of course, a following that's you're more relevant every day in some other lives. How does the spotlight, affect, what you do as a pastor? Like, how much of it is preaching, and how much of it, not necessarily performance in a negative way, but how much is it this has to have value in order to bring people back in? Mm-hmm. How do you see the similarities in what it is that I do and you do?
So I think the similarity is there's a message and there's a purpose behind it. Like you said, you get on stage when you believe that the show has meaning. We talked earlier about there's certain things that we just will not do,
right? Because
they contradict our character and our morals. And so when I get on stage, you're gonna get on stage, is because we both believe that we have something to share that's gonna impact somebody's life. So we're not getting on stage just because we need some shine, or just because we trying to get paid, or just because we trying to floss. It's when I put my mic down, you put your mic down, we both believe that whoever heard it just got helped.
Very true.
That's what it's all about, bro. This is as it relates to me, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt I'm not supposed to be doing what I'm doing. I would have never picked me to preach. I would have never picked me to pastor. I know all of my stuff, and I tell people too, like when I started, I had no Bible training. When I told my pastor, I was called to preach, he was like, go to the Baptist bookstore, get you a Bible, you're going to preach on third Sunday. No training, no nothing. No training, no nothing.
In the deep end with it.
Bro. And so I started preaching and pastoring church with no official Bible training. And so when people come back and be like, man, that was dope, that really touched my life, I know it has nothing to do with me. I'm not smart enough to do this. I'm not skilled enough. I'm not strategic enough. And I don't deserve the privilege of doing what I do. And it is only because God shows up. I've been preaching probably close to 28 years now, and I still get nervous every single Sunday.
Yeah. I know that feeling. I still get nervous anytime I put something out, because I don't know if it's going to be perceived well. And I feel like for me, right, I always say I'm the son of the city and culture when it comes to that, because I've wanted to rap since I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
Right. But I also like the ultimate contradiction of what it means to be a rapper from the city sometimes.
Yeah.
I was in music and more street teaming for local artists. My dad had a small little rap career, so I grew up in it.
Okay.
I saw him on stages, for a little while, and I was around the studios, but I never got to work in there. So the desire in me wanted to take this thing from recording on karaoke machines and taking cassette tapes to real studios to get turned into CDs.
Oh, wow.
That drive has always pushed me to go further. But then if we fast forward that same drive to modern day, to being in the spotlight, when I came back here, I had songs pulled off the radio station because I refused to play the game a certain way, and it was I'd rather deal with internet radio. I'd rather sit down with podcasters and bloggers. I don't make music for the radio. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna conform to this, and I've never had the formal training either. I've never been to audio engineering school. I never had production lessons. I wish I had kept playing saxophone. I probably played it for 2 years and put it down. Yeah. You know what I mean? I have no formal training. I'm probably tone deaf when it comes to making beats. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I know how to write and I know how to go after what it is I want. Yeah. So anytime I'm stepping out there, it's like, you know, I have no label. I have no label that I'm signed to by anyone else. I have no sponsors or no drug money. This is all me. So it's like nobody can stop me from doing what I'm doing. But at the same time, when I get up here, so when I do get up here on stage, you're going to have to pry this mic from my hand because I've already paid so many dudes to be here.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? That's like dope. In my mind, that may be, that may be vain, but that's how, no. You know what I mean? So it's like when I'm there, it's like, oh nah, I'm gonna give it my all every time. I don't care if it's one person or 1,000 persons in the crowd. You're gonna get the same show. And while I'm there, you know what I mean, I want to make sure I leave some sort of impact. So I think for me, it's still nervous because I still carry all of that with me every time I step on the stage, right? And even outside of like the being on stage, I have this conversation I usually have with younger artists, right? A lot of times I don't even go out in public. I don't post on social media unless I got something to say about music. My opinion doesn't exist in those forums. I ain't got no daily status update or this what I ate today or president tripping. Like I don't do none of that because one, I need to live a real life in order to have the experience. But more importantly, when we think about like being in the spotlight, when I'm outside, I understand as an artist who've done this for a long time that if people know me, the main thing they know about me is that I make music. And I've been pretty good at it. So it's like, there's a notion of like there's a sense that I carry, and it could be false, it could be true, it could just only be true to me, is that I belong to the public when I'm outside.
No, it's really good.
In an atmosphere, whether that's, you know, I'm at a concert, I'm at a restaurant, you know, just going to be a fan of somebody else. There's a perception of like, oh, you never speak online. You know, I don't really know you. I know Eugene Wright, the artist, not Eugene Wright, the person, or not Edie that grew up in Powderly. So it's like, I gotta, because I see you, I have to talk to you. I have to ask you some questions. I want to pick your brain. How did you do all of this? It feels like I belong to the people sometimes. That's also a part of being in the spotlight, which I don't deny it because I was the same ambitious kid with those questions. You know what I mean? So is there a part of you that feels like you belong to the public even when you're not like at the altar or on stage on Sunday when you're out and about?
Absolutely. Well, here is what, and this is a dope conversation, and we talked about the similarities between you and I, which is really, really cool to keep exploring. But one of the phrases that you mentioned a couple of times was just this authenticity. And so in belonging to the public, this is just who I am. I owe you the real me.
Right.
And so when people, you know, heard Jay-Z the guy talked about doing an interview with Jay-Z, and he was like, everything you need to know, I already put in the music. When I listened to the music, questions were answered. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so what they'll get from Eugene sitting down and what they get from the CD is the same.
Exactly.
And I think that's what that's what, especially in this social media age, people appreciate authenticity. I was doing some stuff on social media, and you know, and my son, he has a degree in marketing. He was like, no, it ain't got to be perfect, Dad. He was like, it just needs to be you, because in this age, we understand filters, we understand the polish. He said, we appreciate the fact that's just a real dude. You see what I'm saying? And so that pastoring and being in the spotlight, this real talk, bro, it's not hard. And I don't think I'm in no spotlight. I don't think I'm like a no super major dude. I'm me. Being in whenever I have an opportunity to be in a spotlight, it's not hard because I don't have to switch gears. Like what you get on Sunday is what you're going to get on Saturday. Right. It's what you're going to get on Monday. And so the spotlight is no different. The only thing is that I'm just talking to more people at the same time.
Right.
Because all my Sunday conversation, you call me on Tuesday, you're going to get that. You come by my house, you're going to get that same, you're going to get that same work. I'm the same guy. So
you're going to get this work.
Yeah. So I think it's more, this is so dope, bro. And I heard a guy make a comment about, this just blew my mind. He said, it's easier. He says, it's easier to live a life when you're who you are 100% of the time than 99% of the time. He said, because if you live a 99% lifestyle, you're always gauging, is this the opportunity to break mold and be that 1%?
Right.
He was like, if you're the same all the time, life is easy because your standards don't change. The guy told a story, the guy that told me about it, he said he was a killer basketball player, but he was a Christian, and he made a vow that he would never play a basketball game on Sunday. And he grew up all his life from like little league up to college. And so they had a championship game, and the championship game was on a Sunday. And they told him that we were going to play, and he was like, I'm not coming. And he was like, I don't even have to think about it because I've already set this rule before I came in. So I don't have to ask or deliberate, is this the game to break my rule? Is that the game to break my rule? He was like, there's no struggle because I've already set that this is my lifestyle. And I think that's so dope. And people as Christians, people say, it's so hard to be a Christian. Or somebody asks, how do you be a Christian in the workplace? I was like, it's easy. Be the same person.
Right.
You struggle because you have a work culture and a Christian culture. Be the Christian all the time. I'm going to be me all the time. And so it ain't hard. I mean, I'm going to have broken English. I'm going to split some verbs. People can tell I've been to school, somewhat intelligent, may have some level of wisdom. But that dude is from the hood.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to get it well. And so it ain't hard. Like you said, I get on stage, I put in the work to be me, and I'm proud of it.
And I love me. You know what I mean? Like,
I love being me.
And I have to, it's funny that I always explain that to like my rap homies too, right?
Yeah.
Like, and especially because we talk about one of the records off camera that you like, rap don't pay the bills.
Rap don't pay the bills. That was like, dope, bro.
But it's me being honest.
Amen was dope too. That was cool. See, a couple of them still got Amen. Is Amen?
Yeah, Amen for Amen.
Amen for Amen, and God versus man.
God versus man. Yeah, see, yeah. And that goes with the dichotomy of it all, right?
Yeah.
Because if we start from rap don't pay the bills and just thinking about like being your authentic self, like rap is such a braggadocious sport, right? Where everybody's want the spotlight on them to swag, flex, stun, and say,
and most times they lie.
Yeah, they are. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say the quiet part loud, like, hey, this stuff don't pay the bills. It costs to do.
That's big.
I have a passion for it and I love it. But what does pay the bills? My regular day job. Yeah. But I also like this same guy you see rapping here, like with, the 2 gold chains, and if I'm really feeling it, my 16 gold teeth. Like, I'm like, I don't have to code switch, but I'm in corporate America where I know everybody in corporate America that's black men had, bald heads and a little goatee, and I'm out here with freeform dreads that go all the way down my back.
Yeah.
I'm, like I said, trying to keep it clean. But for lack of better words, like, yes, I'm well cultured, I'm slightly educated, I came from the hood, but in a lot of cases, I'm okay with being a nigga in the room because you're not gonna make me uncomfortable. Bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
And I've already accepted I need to be 3 times as good as what I do because of how I present myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In this space, but you're not going to. I'd rather be 3 times as good to get just as much than compromise who I am.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm from the West Side. I still live on the West Side, and I can do this job just as good as anybody in here.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, that is what allows me to be successful in that space. And being more successful in that space makes people gravitate to you on a real day-to-day basis. So even like this whole idea of like this being the spotlight section, yes, there's attention on me at work because I stick out like a sore thumb in corporate America. As this guy with, 2.5 feet freeform dreadlocks, but then also like I'm a central figure in the city for the work that I do in my community and being true to that. And I'm known as a rapper, but I'm telling you, like, hey, rap don't pay the bills. This is what I love to do. So it's like, how do you manage to balance all this? Just by being me. But also I have to give myself to people in order for them to see that and to understand that, because I can say it in the music. You still want to test it in real life though.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they still want to test it to be like, is this really you? Like, hey, let me ask you this question about this, blah, blah, blah. Like, you probably get that all the time. You just taught this on Sunday, and they still gonna come ask you a personal question about it.
Bro. Nah, that's one of the tough parts about pastoring, man. Is like, no, they don't wait till the next day.
Right after.
I have people come to me at the altar right after service and ask them a question, and they contradict everything I just preached for this past 42 minutes. And you know, depending upon who it is, I mean, the level of freedom I have, I'm like, you need to go back and listen. You didn't hear nothing. You didn't hear anything I just said.
And that's why we're a modern church with streaming services. It's the replay on YouTube.
Bro,
right?
catch the replay. God, dog, man. You know? But, you know, I think what's crazy about this, and all of this is circular. When you talked about being able to be your authentic self in all these different environments, I think that's what helps the next generation find themselves. Because you're going to, I say this all the time, 4 things shape your belief system. The environment that you're in, the credible authority, the people that you trust, what you hear on a repetitious basis, and your own personal experiences. Well, one of the things that happens is by you still being in all these different environments and bringing every piece of you to these environments, a kid who has never walked out of Powley can see corporate America when you come back to Powley. I think that's so dope. And so that opens up. One of the things I think that helped me so drastically was I kept myself around older people.
Right.
Like I stayed around old people, man. I would go to my buddies' homes, and if they, you know how kids go, hey, can such and such come out to play? And then there's, no, he doing homework or he gone. And then, you know, the dad. So how's this going? And I sit down before I know it, I'm talking 45 minutes. I'm 10 with a 60-year-old man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it just, that's where I attribute. And that's one of the things I really pray to do is help bring, you talked about it earlier, the 25 versus 50, bringing these generations together to realize we're more similar than we are than we are dissimilar. Now there have to be some contradictions, some changes, because life has changed, technology has changed, but at the core, every generation has something that we can deposit in the other generation to help us all be more fulfilled. Like the way I grew up, we were desensitized to pain. We never thought about our emotions. We told our parents we depressed. You ain't got nothing to be depressed about. You ain't got no mortgage. So we stuffed it all down. And so we hurt ourselves by keep going when we should have stopped and processed the moment.
Right.
Well, in this generation, the opposite is true. That this generation is many times way more sensitive to their emotions.
Right.
And sit in their emotions too much and put them on pause.
I think where we are, though, we are desensitized to concerns. Like, we don't care about the news. We don't care what's happening in the world. It's like, we got to figure out what's going on with us. And, like, the 9/11 can happen again tomorrow, and we'll have memes ready in 15 minutes.
Dang it. What they say, the internet is undefeated, bro.
Undefeated, baby.
Dude, we don't take nothing serious.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, but that's a part of the generation. But also, like, I think that's going to be a good segue to our next section.
If you haven't heard, Sit Down Sessions is a one-of-a-kind experience started right here in Birmingham. Come out to hear some of the best talents in the city as we provide you with lyrics and highlighters to choose your favorite lines and ask the creators themselves what it all means. We have a dope lineup with sounds by The Phase and Octopus, G.I. Magus as the host, along with special guests Specs the Great and Seven Rich. Can't forget about myself. My name is Eugene Wright, and we'll not only be celebrating my birthday, but the release of my new album and book, More Spiritual Than Lyrical. Advance tickets are $20 and includes lyrics, seating, and the Sankofa Suite gear bundle. For those that want to level up their experience, the Plus Pack gets an included copy of the new book and CD. The Max Pack gets you an additional book for the Ubis Cube and official art poster, while the Ultra Pack gets everything mentioned, plus a t-shirt, hat, and the album on vinyl. We may have to ship that to you. So get your tickets now and pull up to the Greenhouse at 602 19th Street, Ensley on Friday, September 5th. Can't wait to see you at the Sit Down Sessions for More Spiritual Than Lyrical, brought to you by The Flourish and Sankofa Suite, a creative culture company.